10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Duska.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dazzle!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick.
Anti-mage.
Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Night Stalker.
Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Beastmaster.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Lena.
Dire team pick.
I speak for the trees.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Of Navi versus Monkey. This is meant to be Dodo, but it is now Ricky. That's what we get.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I was looking at that last pick from NaVi, and I was going, boy, this is going to be really tough because I'm looking at some of the traditional heroes like Gyrocopter. You can't really pick that up. I don't feel against Monkey Business's team, Tusk and Beastmaster will just get in your face, but maybe they just go for it anyway because team fight potential. Maybe they get a pushing hero. You mentioned Luna, and I was like, no, Toby, that'd be terrible. Even I was like starting to consider like, okay, maybe they get the Luna just pushing power. 5-man team fight, who knows? But Riki. Okay, so here's the things that Riki can offer you, right? He's actually rather good at shutting down Animage when he, as Per said, like all you really need to do is farm up like a diffusal blade, and once you have that, your ganking prowess is insane. Especially, it's even more absurd now with the Blink Strike. The Blink Strike actually offers you, it's really frustrating to play against because he always keeps up with you, first of all. But even when you try and fight him underneath the smoke, say you realize, okay, I'm not going to get out of the smoke in time, I'll just turn and fight as best as possible. You know what he does, Toby? He Blink Strikes. It's behind you, and then you have to turn around in the smoke to face him again, and then he blink strikes you again. He's still able to do that insane backstab damage, even when you turn and fight him underneath the smoke screen. But this, I'm looking at this lineup and going, okay, NaVi, once again, like, have to do really well in the early game, otherwise they're just going to lose the late game. And I felt they had a better chance in game 1 against Monkey Business, so I'm personally looking at this as Monkey Business are going to win this game 2. But maybe they're just like, now they're warmed up, now they're going to perform better in the early game. Maybe they won't make some of those mistakes and drop to game 1 for them and gave that early advantage, or at least didn't gain the early advantage that NaVi needed last time. But we'll see. I mean, the lanes are already going to be a bit interesting.
Yeah, it's this Night Stalker versus Animage with support Dazzle, so there's not really a lot of bite here, and when Fly moves over, Funnick and PSM are going to have a lot of problems, and Miracle's purposely fighting here, levels up Mana Break to try and force out the Dazzle, remove any kind of heal, and then Fly to start spamming out his Decay. Miss on the first hit, but it won't really matter. How well No-Tail goes up against Dendy, it's one of these lanes which is very questionable about, because, yeah, you do, okay, are they really battling it out in top lane? So hard, Fly getting just lit up by that Ignite, and they bring in Crit as well, so this turns into a try-on-try lane.
Yeah, you knew NaVi were going to run some sort of aggression, and the response from Monkey Business was like the last pick Undying, just because you think about it, in tri-lane versus tri-lane scenarios, what's the best support that's left? Normally you'd be looking at some sort of range support, but in order just to win the laning phase, something like, you know, Ancient Apparition, Winter Wyvern, Rubik, those kind of supports aren't actually going to do enough in this lane for you to be able to win it. So Undying, yeah, you have to double melee support it, but let's face it, Undying is the toughest hero to beat in a 3 versus 3 because Decay is it's just too powerful.
It's just so strong, man.
Yeah.
The other lanes, though, like this Beastmaster is not having the greatest time. 5-for-1 up against the 10-for-1 of Dandy, but you always expect Lena to have the upper hand, and he keeps getting kills on both the Boars and the Hawks. So the control factor is there. The bottom lane is kind of like our other protocol, because you talk about like the power of the Ricky Mara, the ability to strike in all the time. Okay, they're going to commit tombstone. And Snako isolated by the shards. They'll snowball in to keep this control up. It actually breaks through the tree line. And he wants to blood us away, but Miracle blinking forward, gives a body block, and then gets first blood. Funnick will be able to return into the Animage, will end up dying as PSM once more, putting that poison on the Crit. The Fly, he just keeps up with the Decay. PSM's got 500 life under that, in fact. Just punch him down by Fly will do the work. And that's going to be now a double kill. Only, sorry, 1 kill coming in for the Undying. It's a 2-for-2 trade-off after that.
Who knew it was going to be a double damage Dazzle that determined the outcome of that fight? Like, he just comes in and he does so much damage to Miracle he can't actually get out in time. If it wasn't for that extra damage, I think he lives, and so too does the Tusk. Then they would have been in a great position. But they're still okay, because the Undying got so much experience out of that now he's going to have either level 2 Tombstone, or he goes Soul Rip. Soul Rip has an incredible amount of value at level 1, and I oftentimes like to get it at level 3 just because, okay, what if your ally is being gone on? Soul Rip can make the world a difference instead of just having more power on your Tombstone.
Man, this bottom lane, I was wondering exactly how it would go, because I didn't think Vorst really had enough damage to battle up against Moomiander, and Moomiander's actually standing inside the cloud battling against Vorst with that PMS up. But the invis regeneration, it's kind of crazy. It still happens even when you're visible. It's not like with Slark, where if you're visible, then like you kind of lose your ultimate. But
Moon is
okay,
dead. No,
he's able to sprout and TP out. You can put down the cloud, but when you use a TP scroll like that, you get away to safety, and he can just TP back into the lane, so the gank will end up failing.
Go Moon. That was a really smart play, because I was just expecting him to try and regular TP out. And then, you know, the smoke stops him, he can't do anything.
And then he comes to steal the cloud as well as the farm. I mean, the rune as well as the farm. He takes the regeneration rune from Snako.
Yeah, but he's playing this very well. Like, he knew exactly what he needed to do. Get the Orb of Venom, get the Ring of Bacillus, which is a great laning phase item. Like, it gives you everything you need. Armor, the regen for spamming out Treants more, as well as an increase of damage. Like, the 1v1 potential that Ring of Bacillus offers you.
In trouble.
Great.
Gank on mid lane, just Funnick rotating around the back end. Starts with the Void, the TP support's finally coming in. The Axe will clean up the lane. The ball's slowing down Dendy a lot. They snowball in. So Crit will be able to get the revenge kill over on the Lina. Yes, you lose your Beastmaster, but Dendy committed so heavily to come onto that tower to make that work.
Yeah, that was really close to it actually going terribly for NaVi, because Crit almost managed to pick up the Beastmaster inside the snowball, and then the Beastmaster is actually the one who dies second, and then it's a big win. But the fact that Lina gets the kill first on the Beastmaster does offer him an advantage. He'll get his level 6 a little bit quicker. In fact, he already has it. Laguna Blade ready to go. You may even see another kill on Big Daddy No Tail before he hits his 6.
At the same time, because you got that the big solo, he's the most CS'd hero on the map, Dendy. You give all of that experience solo over to the Tusker, it means your movement with the Tusker is going to be even better.
Nice job by Funnick in the top lane. What he did, played the nighttime very aggressively. Actually went for the second level in Hunter in the Night, which you see a lot with Night Stalkers, that they feel like the silence isn't going to offer them enough. So he just pushed the advantage against Fly, forces out the Tombstone, and then immediately runs back with that extra movement speed that he has during night, and only has like one zombie spawn on him. And now the Animage isn't going to be feeling as brave about pushing forward without that fighting power of Tomb.
He's going to be more careful of the rest of the time, but he's still got a good regeneration, because he knows he's building into both Battle Fury as well as Vlad, so having the ring as well as the Ring of Regen, Ring of Health and Ring of Regen together. Like, the regeneration is enough to let him work, and if things do get rough, he can just soul rip. So Miracle goes for a lifeline, and then, Moomiander, they cut through, and he'll dive underneath his own tier 1 tower, Vorst with him. There's no cloud, he's still got those Venom Strikes, one more charge, but then in comes the extra support, the Wrath of Nature connects to the Isolate Funnick with the Sprout. Fly was here, was the soul that gave Moomiander even more life, and the Snowball follow-up. It'll be a double kill for Moomiander. Nature's profit with momentum is being gained. Phase boots as well, so his damage status goes through the roof when it comes to lane harass.
Every single time I watch Moon, I feel like he's playing better and better. I mean, I'm not going to say that Sprout, like, what a brilliant play by him, because, he just sprouted and it happened to push the Riki out. I think that was just a bit of good fortune for him. But the fact that, he recognized that he could have turn potential there with his ultimate, he throws on the other side of the map to get the most amount of damage, turns and fights the Riki to make sure he doesn't give away that backstack damage, and gets healed by the Undying. Great communication from Monkey Business, good rotations, and then, again, the power of that Silver coming into play. No Tail's very dead.
There's a double damage over on the Lina and a simple rotation in from Vorst to make it work. At the same time, Moomiander TP to the top lane. Now, he came up here to join Miracle, but he did it underneath a Radiant Observer Ward. So NaVi are very much aware of where Moomiander is on the map. And while they do this, they then give the space to Crit on the bottom lane. So maybe this is all about just getting that Walrus Punch up and running.
Yeah, this is... Normally you look at your carries or your mids to be the one rotating into the jungle and utilizing that and freeing up space for a 4 position to get farm.
They're coming in.
Oh, they're
getting in the tower. The bottom lane. They actually sprout to ensure the last hit, so a Vorst cannot mess with it.
Yeah, like, he's got the permanent invisibility maxed out. Like, he doesn't offer that much offensive power, but they also can't kill him.
Yeah,
the rotation like that is just for the tower.
Like, you actually just attack, and then you go back into invis, and you get 12 health regen up for that Ricky Maras. Even that harassment with the phase boot build, maybe that's like one thing we could question, where the phase boots is purely like that movement speed and damage during the fight, but it doesn't let him harass a Vorst out of the lane. And now Fly, okay, they're going to go with Crit. Dropping the Tombstone Seneko, he's still going to path out here, but the Undying minions are right on his tail, and they're not going to commit any further to this. The Tombstone's already getting mopped up by Havors as well as PSM, sort of make him work a little bit harder for it.
Oh, but they might still be able to force a fight here with Big Daddy actually being in phase.
Like, with the Tombstone down, you got to have such confidence here as NaVi and Dandy. The shards will fly out, and yep, they find the kill. Nature's Prophet kills Secure with that Wrath of Nature, and they can go for more. Snakeo's on the run, and Prophet TP's forward. The stun will do a little bit, but that's that cast time. You just go for it. Cup through the tree line. Snako can't bloodlust himself out this one. Another 2 heroes of NaVi being picked off as monkeys. They bring 4 heroes this middle lane as quick rotations all across the map.
Yeah, again, and we have yet to see the Riki actually go and shut down the Animage just yet, which I really feel like that's what the Riki offers in potential.
Mm-hmm. But once he gets to that point, like, because if he shuts down the Animage, you give more space for No-Tail to catch up, because he's already looking towards that Necro book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's also what he's building. He could just finish up the treads, but
yeah. But if you guys haven't don't really see the storyline of this game, it's the fact that NaVi they needed to be able to win some of the early game, and they're just losing it now against the aggression of Toss Undying. As you could see, another pickup.
Wow, Havors jumps in for this one. Laguna Blade flies so low, and he can't soar it because of the cloud. But again, the Sprout. Moonmienda will be there. They do get the kill on Fly, and Moonmienda doesn't really have the damage to help out because his ulti is still on cooldown. So there's 2 hero kills coming the way of NaVi. The Courier, also not the greatest thing in the world to feed it out, and Crip will just TP himself away to safety. A little bit of miss micro of the Courier, so that's a really good fight there for NaVi. Good cash coming their way, but they're still not closing down the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, the Anti-Mage is definitely going to be pretty concerning. The fact that they tried to shut him out in the laning phase, it didn't really work, and he's still getting free farm. He'll have a Battle Fury. It's actually looking like he'll have it by 13 minutes. He doesn't have regular boots, though. And that's a big difference. He's even more susceptible now to the smoke screen of Havos. If they get double slows on him underneath, I don't think he leaves that cloud. Yeah. Just because he's going to go down to 100 movement speed.
I was actually wondering what Nature's Prophet was going to build. You got 4.4k gold, and initially I was like, well, is he going to build an Orchid in this game? Looks like they do have an opening right now, a Miracle, but he gets out of the cloud. Funnick wasn't there in time, and it was still daytime as well.
Yeah, that's... You got to point that out, right? NaVi very critically needed to pick off the Animage there in order to slow down that Battle Fury. They rotated 3 heroes up, and it was just a simple mistake. Vos kind of jumped the gun. He didn't have the smoke screen in the best spot. And
there's the Raw. There's no mana for a Shuttler Graves. The PSM's dead no matter what here, but Moonmienda jumps in again, and he used the Sprite to block out Havors, but a big stun from Dendy. It buys a little bit of time, but how much time is really required? Havors back at Invis. They drop the Sentry Ward underneath the tower so they can shard up Havors, killing him off. Dendy, he just physically damages down the Tuskar. Crip finding himself just a little bit too deep under that tower. But you've already taken 2 hero kills, you take the tower directly after when you have an Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, with the lineup that isn't really supposed to be ready yet. Granted, I don't think NaVi's lineup is the greatest in the first 10-15 minutes, but the impetus is definitely on them to try and force action and keep Monkey Business shut down. Riki offers an insane amount of damage in the early to mid game.
But
Night Stalker's early game based. Yeah.
Because that was the one thing in which Purge was saying, what do you do with the Ricky Mari? You sit there and you farm up Yasha or you farm up Diffuser Blade. Right now, Havors has Ring.
Well, he would offer damage if they had the disables to go with it, right? The problem is everyone's just leaving the cloud so quickly.
Oh, Fly needs to solve it, but actually just left him. Trying to run himself out. This one, now he can actually not get himself a big decay. It's still on cooldown. There's 14 1 charges. Miracle's just sitting there farming next to his dying teammate. So they'll let both of them die, but this is a 5-man move from NaVi, resulting in a double kill for Dendy.
No, I mean, this is supposed to be what NaVi's doing, is kind of running over the heroes of Monkey Business, because you look at Monkey Business, they're not supposed to be able to fight yet. They don't have the Battle Fury, Manta on AM, and they won't have it for some time. Beastmaster invested into a Necro Book, which, as a mid laner, he's pretty slow in that regard. He's not nearly as high tempo as Lina or Queen of Pain, someone like that. And then Furion, Moonmeander's doing very well, but it's not necessarily the most aggressive hero either. Great pickup, though, by Funnick. They're cutting down the tree.
They're going bottom lane. Moonmeander being initiated on. And with that silence, he wants to TP himself out. This one now attempts it, but the damage is too much. So Moonmeander will die, but NaVi stopped their push on middle lane with this. So Monkey's still holding onto all their tier 1 towers, which doesn't seem like much now, but when you're running a Nature's Prophet, having that front position all the time You could just go into full lane control, because I'm still wondering how NaVi deal with split push.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. NaVi need to be able to push down tier 1s and tier 2s in the first, 30 minutes of this game, and gank around and shut down the Furion as well as the Animate.
This is a nice way to start it, though. A Vorse behind the tower, revealing out where Monkeys is, and then they just jump in. They start with the Cloud. Crit can't do anything. Beastmaster being focused down, but it's not enough. You'll get the Roar on Dendy, and the Undying Tombstone doing a lot of work before it's finally brought down. The Shallow Graves on Dendy, and they'll actually cancel the TP out. So goodbye, Dendy. They move into PSM and fly with that ulti. They're just running it down. Funnick will finally come and join the battle. That helps to bring down Notel, but Fly is still a huge beast in this fight. So is Miracle, involved in everything. It's a 3-for-1 trade-off. The Sprout could not control anything more. Horse actually just jumping himself up now, but locked in by the shards. He'll get beaten down as Animage finding yet another kill here. He's 2-1-2, and as always, with this lineup from Monkeys, you take a fight, you take a tower.
Yeah, great idea of NaVi kind of setting that one up in a way, and maybe Crit.
Walrus Punch, they can
Funnick.
sprout him.
Yeah.
If he's not he's got the Quelling Blade, so he can cut free, but
here's the thing. The last pick of Monkey Business, you're fighting into an Undying. Really tough hero to go on. They should have blocked him down first, I believe. I don't think that you go for the Beast Smash in these scenarios. I know it's a rough call, but the Tombstone offers too much. So the moment the Tombstone was down, I was like, Monkey Business won the fight. Because then there's no control in the Undying. He offers the Soul Rip with all the extra zombies, all the extra creeps. He gets this maxed out heal on the Beast Smasher, which is quite significant. You saw the way he lived through that. Was able to get the Primal Roar, and everything goes bad for NaVi from there. Not having the Night Stalker in the beginning of that fight as well. Like, if Night Stalker came in through the side and silenced the Undying as they went, the fight goes a lot better for NaVi. But it's simple execution. That we saw maybe, they messed up a bit in the first 15 minutes of Game 1, and it's costing them even more in Game 2.
The Aghanims move from Moon Meander. Like I already said, the split push is going to be difficult for NaVi, but having the ability to summon that many Treants across the map.
Toby, I'll be happy if I see a Mega Treant. If he can, I've yet to see it. If you get a kill with the Wrath of Nature on a hero, and I get a chance to see what a Mega Treant looks like and what it can do, I'll die happy.
What's it going to look like a raid boss Treant? I haven't seen one yet myself.
It's essentially 4 times the regular Treant or something. I think it does 50 damage a hit or something absurd.
Okay, so it's not that terrific, but it'll look interesting. Notel being initiated on. A Vorse chasing after him, but again, Notel able to run himself out of the cloud. Very tanky. Already having that level 1 Necrobook, and Dendy wants to keep going for this. Like, if he could duel up the Light Strike Array, he'd have a chance. But now he's actually used the LSA, and Notel turns around. But okay, didn't really want him. That was 4 heroes just walking over the top of the Beastmaster, and now they will take a tier 1 tab. And this is their first of the game as well.
NaVi, yeah, good on you just running through that tier 1 tower. Big Daddy Notel's sitting there going oh yeah, you're not gonna go into this tier 1 tower dive because my allies will TP in. But the problem is with TPs, they're not gonna be set up well enough. Last team fight, yeah, they already had the Tombstone down instantly and the heals to be able to respond. If they have staggered responses from Monkey Business, it'll go pretty bad for them.
I still don't know if it's really worth it to get what they got. Like, you take a tier 1 tower and you take out the Beastmaster. But Miracle has the Battle Fury up nice and early. Yeah. He's farming his heart up, and he's going to have so much space because of the way the Prophet also synergizes with the lineup, because he just triggers off the Aghanims, and all the lanes just start pushing then. So the Animage can take over his own jungle, he take over the Radiant jungle, because NaVi are concerned about just controlling the lane. Looks like middle lane again, Notel's being initiated on. They are really just hating into this Beastmaster, and Mumian is hoping for some kind of collateral here. The Necro units are down, but he can't get the Sprout lock, so instantly just takes out the tree line. And yeah, they're not going to find anything here. But it's just the synergy where you just create so much space for the anti-mage that doesn't even matter that Notel has died now 7 times in 17 minutes.
Yeah, that's definitely on Notel. Like, you got to be a little bit more aware that the Riki could be on you at any point in time. He slows you down quite significantly, and that'll get worse once we see a Diffusal Blade out of him.
But where's the Riki's items? Has he got something else? Like, Funnick is...
No, he doesn't have very much farm.
Funnick is building into this Aghanim Scepter, which is great for him. In fact, he is quite close to the Ags.
You need like 3 times the number of kills of on a Riki, because you spend so much time rotating, and like, you're a carry that scouts for your team. Yep. That's not very efficient at all, and if you don't get kills for that scouting, you're going to fall well behind in net worth, and you see that right now. He's 5,200 net worth. He's behind Funnick by a large amount. That's just one of the big downsides of running a Riki 1 position.
I would still be happy in a way for this, because you need the Aghanim Scepter in order to fight monkeys properly. So having that over on Funnick is going to be a huge upgrade for him. What would you say, like when we're doing in the draft, like Night Stalker doesn't do amp thing during the fights, but you always have an advantage in the late game.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Night Stalker, like the reason there's so much hype around that Ags is the fact that, like, late game, he doesn't offer that much to you except vision, but that's all it needs.
Here it is. That Wrath of Nature was able to connect, but Dendy being Yule Scepter up, which means he shouldn't pop out into the big... I'm sorry, it doesn't happen. Then again, actually, Mumieta doesn't finish the Ag, so it doesn't really matter either. But Dendy getting picked off.
Let's see, Dazzle...
Dendy's actually going to go for a Shadow Blade. There's no Aghanim Scepter build for him. Because he picks up the Shadow Amulet.
Okay, so the key point of time, I'm not sure if I like the Blink Dagger on Tusk here. I agree, being able to jump the Lina or the Dazzle will make the team fight a lot easier for you, but I think the saving defensive measures of a Force Staff would make a lot more sense for the Monkey Business heroes, because Smokescreen is such a potent disable against a lot of their heroes. But he's going to go for the more offensive pickup. They also have an Aegis, so maybe this offensive pickup will work out for them, especially in this position where they could get a really good Ice Shards block.
The jump forward, he missed the Walrus Punch. He could have actually just flipped Funnick on his head. But they missed the target, and now all Monkeys want to do is just back the hell out of here. You got the Aegis model on the back of Miracle. This protects your Mage farm for now. And the Aegis Prophet now starts the Aghanim's push. It's... The dream is alive for Moonmeander, as well as myself. The Prophet is back.
I called it with you earlier when we were talking about it. Shadow Blade. This is an NA thing where you've got two different players, Susie and one other, who pick up the Shadow Blade after Yule Scepter constantly. It's much more rare to see in the European region, but it's really good in this game. I love it.
Well, it already goes to work
because they have to play so hyper aggressive.
Is this team gonna work? Like Funnick, well, there's your Ags. Miracle wants to try and fight this. They'll snowball in, and Dendy gonna get punched up and towards the air and instantly brought down. The Wrath of Nature will still connect out. There's a lot of bonus damage, and Funnick, they're fighting underneath this tombstone, and NaVi can't even reach it. The trees, as well as the Undying Minions, are making a wall, and they just cannot get close enough. PSM, the Shallow Grave keeps alive a little bit longer, but Fly will get himself a triple kill. This is just an absolute meat shield. But Vor's on the run out of here, but he doesn't have any kind of detection, so they don't see where Ricky Maru is.
Yeah, I kind of expected Necrobook out of Moon because the way this game is kind of set up. But
she still triggers the dust. They pop 2 sentry wards as well as dust, expecting that Vor's is still somewhere here, but he's farming up in the dire jungle.
Yeah.
He also spent his money before. I thought he's actually got the 2 Blade of Alacrity sitting on the Radiant Courier. So this Diffuser Blade isn't that far away.
I want to give a quick shout out to Crit, who played. He was the only one who died from Monkey Business, but he played it the smartest. He got his initiation, and when he was jumped on by the Riki, he did something that No Tail did not when he got caught out in the middle lane, which was he turned and fought the Riki underneath the shield. Didn't try and get out from underneath the smoke. He just delays his own death a good 2 to 3 seconds because of that. Because that's what that's where all the Riki's damage is coming from right now, is that backstab.
And once the Force want to do is start using all these strikes to like just kill off a Tusker.
Yeah, exactly. And so then it's another 2 or 3 seconds under Tombstone.
Oh, she blinks over the top of him. The silence will be there, the void as well, but in come your shards, and it locks Funnick in close, but they're looking for more. They find the Beastmaster out of position once again, and walking into the middle of the smoke, Denny will go for the Yule Scepter. No Line Striker rated combo with Miracle, and a Vorse, very visible, jumping up a little bit further. They snowball after him, and the Shallow Grave is down, but another double Line Striker ray, this time from Denny. Where is your follow-up? There's no Laguna Blade available for him anymore, so it's still a 2-euro pickup until the Nano Void burning out into Funnick, taking out Dendy, and they want more. The double summons a Miracle. This may do the work, but remember, he's still got this Aegis model, so you kill off an Mage, but really, what is the cost right now? Fly's retreating out, but he's done so many decays, got 5 decays, they'll finally bring him down. And Miracle's not going to fight this. He's going to let Moonmeander die. He's on the run out of here as quick as he possibly can. Move to the trees, but your trees will not protect you. You'll just keep getting stunned up because the Unobstructed Vision that the Night Stalker does grant. Vorse will find himself a double kill. And Miracle just says, screw this. I'm pushing the middle lane. Like, I force NaVi to come back, I make it so they cannot push the lane.
Yeah, Miracle pushed forward to go for the Lina, which is obviously what you need to do as the Animage every single time. Burn through his mana, get the big threatening mana void that potentially catches multiple heroes.
Sentry Ward down for Crit. Now, Crit needs some help. Miracle can come. Oh no, that's not the type of help, Miracle! No. Okay, there's the Raw. They'll find the pickoff. I thought for a moment Miracle was going to block Crit so much that Funnick would actually find that kill before death.
Yeah. I think like he was totally baiting that one. He knew he had 10 magic stick charges. He knew that the snowball was going to be up as soon as the silence faded. So he just brings them back to his allies. The moment the silence fades, he's going to be fine because he can snowball and ice shards. And bottom lane looks like they'll get a kill on Beastmaster.
That's 10 deaths now for the Beastmaster. He's been sitting on this level 1 Necro book for so long. They reveal Dendy moving into the trees, another sentry ward having to be dropped, but he just runs and has that soul rip hurt so much. And Dendy's Shadow Blade's gonna last long enough.
Yeah, they did.
They could prepare the secondary sentry ward though. Like Snakeo's moving over to help them out, and okay, they'll just let it go.
But yeah, going back to the earlier fight the Monkey Business lost, they ran away from their tombstone. And they can't go into these long extended team fights where their damage is very spread against a Dazzle when no one's threatening the Dazzle. Like, PSM literally got off like 1,200, 1,400 heal or something in that long drawn out team fight because he was just sitting in the back, Shadow Wave, Shadow Wave, Shadow Wave, and Monkey Business didn't focus their damage nor did they threaten the Dazzle.
Daddy's coming up for a kill. Miracle just wants to get out of here. Like, he's just about to get the money. In fact, now does have the money for the full Manta style. So at least he can break free. But that diffuser blade being up for Ricky Maru makes it very difficult for Monkeys to even run away from these fights.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, I'm not seeing the BKB on Moon Meander. In fact, it almost looks like he's thinking about going an Octarine core on this Nature's Prophet. Unless that point booster is meant to be for something else, but...
I mean, you could go into Scotty, but... It'd be, I mean, he would stat up a lot. I'm not sure if that's really the build. Octarine Core, I'm not sure if that's the build either. That would be really weird, but I suppose if you're spamming it out, like every 45 seconds, Wrath of Nature is tough to beat in a split push game.
Top lane, the fight's coming in. They just lost vision of a Vorst, however. No-Tail was preparing for the roar, and the Tombstone is down in the tree line. So Monkey's not in a good position to fight this one at all, but NaVi, they just fall back. The middle lane's being pushed out, the bottom lane's pushing pretty heavily as well. The Wrath of Nature bounces through all the lanes, and there's all of a sudden triggers to be farmed up everywhere. There's kind of a bit of a downside about this. Like, you get a whole bunch of treants on the map, but there's also so much more economy that NaVi can just farm up when you don't control it.
You know what's funny, Toby? That's usually my the big point that I hit on all the time with these split push, but I think in this game it doesn't matter because I don't really see, like, it's not like Ogre Magi can farm those very quickly. He's one of the supports that would get a benefit out of it. I don't think Dazzle gets a huge benefit. The Lina hits sort of like a peak point once you have that Agnum Scepter. Yes, you can go into like the Refresher and things like that, but I think that you just guarantee stall out this game. Yes, you're bumping up the economy of NaVi in some way, but they don't have the great heroes to farm it. Their offlane, like Nightstalker, doesn't do anything about, you know, Furion pushes, so I think that Monkey Business are fine. We're just like, okay, you can take a couple of train kills every now and again, but we're drawing out the game another 10 minutes.
Sentry goes down, Havorce is moving over, and they trigger the dust on him. There's your roar. They'll fight underneath the smoke screen. They even drop down. Look, I think that might be a little bit of overkill, but the secondary sentry ward and the necro books were also triggered. Roshan's still down for a while, so they can't really capitalize on this. But it's so much space. The Animage has 15,000 net worth and rising rapidly.
But No-Tail really needed this in Necro Book 3 a lot earlier because it's awkward for the supports because they have to carry both counters as well as dust because the Diffuser Blade is just like, boom, instant remove the dust.
But where do you find the space for No-Tail to farm this? Like,
well,
not dying would help. Yeah, that would help, but he's up against an invisible force of Ricky Maru, and he keeps finding him too. And then Dendi, another invisible force by having this Shadow Blade. I'm actually really surprised that Monkeys just haven't committed into getting, like, the gem. Like, I know the Necro Book's going to do a lot of that work for you, but... Okay, they're going to fight this.
Okay, this is...
Sonic triggers the ulti, but they got sentry wards down here. Monkeys is prepared to fight on this hillside. They want Dendi to move forward so Tuskar can initiate. And now they've caught out Funnick. The perfect shard control. Funnick's got no way out this one. Miracle jumps forward. The Shallow Grave will keep Funnick alive. They force-starve him away. But where's that Mana Boy? Where's the stun? Okay, the damage lasts long enough anyway. And of course, they trigger the dust. He'll be able to Phantom Strike himself away here. But Ricky Maru, okay, another strike has to be used. I should say Blink Strike, not Phantom.
Yeah, did you see the line I drew? I was just like, they're going to draw them into this trap where they're going to be like, no, don't take our ancient stack, and they're going to move forward and they're going to get ice shards blocked.
Snowball, they jump in. Perfect sharp block on Dendi as well as PSM. Wrath of Nature bounces around, and Avorst, the Shallow Grave will have to be used to protect him now. As again, he has to blink strike himself away to safety. Another double stun as well from Denny will buy his face, but the Mana Void and the Soul Root from Undying hits perfectly. Vorst, well, he's just on the run, flies right behind him, and there's that gem. They see a Vorst and fly, he's in too deep. He's going to lose the Gem of True Sight, but instantly regathered by Crit. 4 heroes down for NaVi, and Monkeys, they are just man-moding down this mid lane. The tier 3 tower fortification has to trigger. The buyback does come out from Dendy, and he's looking for the kill. You'll set her up, Laguna Blade is available, and Moon Meander's in a bit of trouble. He's got a lot of life behind him, however. Goes for the Sprout, TP out, but he's still visible, being that close to the base of NaVi. And he'll lose his life for this one. And it is actually the Octarine build. Unless he's still considering Bloodstone.
Yeah.
But
I mean, again, it's an interesting choice. You just draw out the game. Monkey business. The thing is, NaVi, earlier, like 8 minutes ago, you would kind of look at the kill score and go, okay, NaVi, you're doing all right. They're ganking some of these heroes a lot. They're doing okay, but they weren't getting towers. And ultimately, like, I make a joke about No-Tail. Yeah, he crits. Oh,
lol. LOL! Blink himself away, they can't reach him! And now they can actually try and turn this one. The blink forward by Miracle. No-Tail's not in range, however. He's got no maneuverability items to catch up to get that roar off. And it looks like NaVi now want to go for Roshan. But you got the Beastmaster Hawk that can keep the vision up. Obviously, Funnick with an Aghanim Scepter can see it coming in. But at least Monkeys know that Roshan is alive.
The important thing is that, I mean, he lost the gem earlier. When they went for that contest on the Ancient stack and he got blocked out by the Ice Shards, he dropped the gem, and now they don't have that guarantee that when they move around as 5 like this, they'll be able to take away the vision of Monkey business.
Yeah. The fact they actually give it over to Monkey. Like, I thought they're going to regather it, because it was dropped at one point by Tusker. But it's been regathered up by No-Tail. So now you've got Hawks to scat at all of these wards. NaVi will be taking Roshan. Monkeys are not in any kind of position to contest this. You're TPing down to the tier 2 tower, and the Sigil's coming, but it's already too late. NaVi just had way too much damage for this. And there's going to be a second life arriving for the Ricky Maru. And this is as he is buying into that Basher. So the control factor is there.
All right, every 45 seconds, Wrath of Nature. You know what? I think what this also does. Oh, it does. I thought I remembered this. Okay, if Night Stalker. Okay, Night Stalker has a Quelling Blade. Ogre Magi has a Force Staff. Enrique, I guess, has Blink. But if you ever catch a hero without Quelling Blade and without a way to clear through trees, you can perma keep them there. It's 6-second duration on Sprout. It's 6-second cooldown. You can just keep a hero there constantly. Obviously, it's not a real thing, but.
It's a nice little troll thing for you, at least.
Yeah.
That battle is still going on. Fly's going to drop, and these are 2 very quick pickoffs. Vorst wants to go for more, and they can do so. They get that Light Strike Array over on Crit. There's not enough mana for Laguna Blade, however, so Dendy unable to get that instant kill over on Crit, which he would really love to get, but the bash going to work here from a Vorst, and they're just moving one to the next. Miracle triggers the BKB, as now will be the Beastmaster who kills off PSM. In death, the Necro units and other minions do the work, but the top tower's been taken out. Monkeys just continues to push.
Yeah, Monkey business.
Split push, I should say.
This is why I keep saying that they're kind of sloppy. Is that was a rather sloppy play where they could have just given up one hero, the Beastmaster, and then it turns into the Undying's dead as well. Yeah, slight mistake. Then the Tusk gets caught as well, and then the Animage gets caught and is forced to use his BKB. Yeah, Monkey business is still very far ahead, but it's going to be plays like that that allow NaVi back into the game.
So Sameko, how do you kill a whole bunch of trees when you're an ogre?
Miracle? You should be okay.
Yeah, he's able to mana and get himself out. In fact, now Vorst being trapped. There's the Agassi Mortal, and he still had himself another Blink Strike to get away. But that's horrid damage. It hurts so much. And Ricky Maru still on the run. The Snowball and the Axe will connect. They have Walrus Punch available as well as Raw. So they can lock down a Vorst. There goes your Raw. The smoke screen is down, but they're just man-moding this, and there goes the Vorst. Miracle coming for the kill secure with the Mana Void, but Funnick, he's going to be isolated. Sprouted up, and there's your blink forward. It'll be Undying to find the last pickoffs. Now it's NaVi's turn to feed kill after kill, and that's a lot of trans.
Miracle baited that. I was looking there going like, Miracle, you okay? Like he's staying in this smoke, but I think he was outside of the smoke, but he was hit by the Night Stalker's silence, and he was just like waited, and then Manta blink out. He knew he was going to be fine. He just kept those heroes long enough that the rest of his allies could come in and respond, and boom, they've gotten 2 kills. They've taken away the Aegis of NaVi. They're just being, I think, so outplayed. Monkey business are displaying that they're just such a stronger team.
Yep. I kind of want to have like a tree encounter on this map right now, because there's like
Dakin. Moon has a Dakin.
Wait, what? Why? I suppose like, well, you called it a 26-25. You lower it somehow. It shows the instant kill if you can get it over on the Ricky Maru, and they're gonna TP bottom lane. So Miracle's just that frontline man. They get the double light strike array. Then he keeps finding these, but there's no follow-up from the rest of NaVi. And the Treant army on the top lane is so big, it's adding so much pressure that NaVi, they're still losing out in this trap. Mumiana goes for, again, another Wrath of Nature, bounces through the heroes so heavily, and more Treants get created. Like, I'm actually seeing more Treants than I normally see Spiderlings in the Broodmother game. They're just everywhere. It's a plague. It's an infestation of trees. At least we'll be breathing easy.
Yeah, great. Like, the Ignite is very inefficient at dealing with those pushes. Dazzles can only do it if there's a large creep wave with him. Havost is single target. Lina offers really the only AoE that is somewhat efficient in clearing through those trees. The Night Stalker does nothing. You have so little heroes that, yeah, the Octarine Core, you're spamming out Treants everywhere, but Navi just can't clear them fast enough. They're always going to be having their side lane split pushed in, which frees up just space, like galaxies of space for Miracle to operate with, which he'll soon have an Abyssal Blade.
He's only got like 22k worth of net worth. It's only 10,000 in front of Dendi. Like it could be worse.
Yeah, that's only 650 gold per minute. Considering that he's. Yeah, he actually he only died once, but he had the pressure of the early game on him, I guess. But it could. My point is, it could be like 750 gold per minute, really.
Yeah, it could be a hell of a lot more.
But that's just all the space that Moon's offering. I mean, again, I want to just like lather all this praise on Moon Meander, but I think he was one of the primary reasons that they won game number 1. And I think he did outstandingly in game number 2. But you still unorthodox builds, I would say, was again outside the box thinking.
I still want to flag it though, because I don't want it just to all be about Moon Meander. Like, it's not this 4 protect 1 kind of strat. Like, everyone knows their jobs, and it's not just protecting Moon Meander. Because you've still got the Nature's Prophet who's creating space, but he's getting so much money, and they know, like, it's all about the kills. If we are looking for a sacrificial lamb, like, the closest we're getting right now to the Melk Award is Notel. Like 4 for 11 on this Beastmaster. He dies time and time and time again. It almost gives you, like, that feeling of the mid-solo of Artur when he first played for EG. And it's like, well, I'm Dry Ranger, I give an aura. There's like, I'm Beastmaster, I give Vision, I give Balls, and I give Necro units. At least now he gives Necro units.
I mean, I was kind of I was teasing No-Tail because I felt like, yeah, he's been picked off a few too many times where he shouldn't have been, but there is such a thing as creating space. We see it all the times where supports will push out side lanes in order to create space for someone like Miracle. And Monkey Business, I think, is the most common team to do something like that, because that's what they really like to focus on. When Miracle gets a hard carry like this, is just finding space for him. So some of the, like, I would say maybe 50% of those deaths were in some way creating space for Miracle.
And you kept saying it too. Like, you kept saying like why is NaVi not adding pressure on this anti-mage? Like, Havor should be there with a smoke screen and bouncing from one side of the anti-mage to the other, causing real issues for him. But
or towers.
It took forever to get there.
I mean, look at the fact they still have a tier 1 tower up in the bottom lane. Like, this is the NaVi. The way NaVi would win this would be like by 25 minutes they've both shut down heroes and taken at least all the tier 1 outer towers, and then start closing in on those tier 2s. You just got to limit the control that Monkey Business, like the map control that they have. But
at least NaVi's got a little bit more control now. That unrefined blast, Snake managed to complete up a full Aghanim Scepter on this Ogre Magi. So they've got a little bit more to play around with during the fights now. Not to mention Ricky Maru's finding more and more farm, building into a BKB. But where are they going? Denny's hoping that someone from Monkeys is hanging around here, but it's just more and more trees. I almost wish that Funnick built into a Maelstrom or something along those lines. And the trees just move in. The bottom lane already attacked, so these Treants, they're attacking down this tier 3 tower where PSM has to use his burst heal. And now, wait, there's another wave. They just keep coming. It's just...
I mean, Monkey Business are just like, take all the gold you want from that. You're not getting neutrals.
Top lane, yep. Got out of position, kill secure from Mumianta. The Abyssal Blade also just got completed up by Miracle. So they've got a proper lockdown. Denny will be, like, he'll have to buy back. Like, there's no other choice. If they lose a lane of frags here, they're Monkeys that will win the game. Just based on split push. Then there goes your tier 3 tower.
Radiant's top tower has
But where's your opening? Like, how did NaVi even initiate this? Or do they? Do they just wait? Oh my god.
I think part of it was like the Shadow Blade going
There it
in,
is.
but
Jump in, quick pick, and Dazzle just evaporates. It was the Abyssal Blade control. You're getting the multi-stones over on Miracle. He's dropping so low, Miracle. BKBs, and then blinks himself away. He'll get the mech as well as the Soul Repeal.
But Moonmeander's pushing in the bottom lane. He's already brought that melee Rex down to half. Na'Vi are just scrambling from side to side trying to stop these pushes.
Vorsash able to blink himself up. He's able to get the bash as well over the latest profit, but that BT's coming in at the moment. And, well, actually ends up getting cancelled. Who was that? Moonmeander's just going to end up dying. It was Beastmaster coming to the bottom lane to try and help out. I think he realized that the prophet was dead.
Radiant's mid.
But he was coming in with Dawn. He could have actually bought space for that to work.
He'll get an extra one fly with the Yule Scepter.
Yeah.
He'll go down. I was actually trying to figure out, I didn't actually see it, but the exact cooldown on Dagon once you get it to level 5. Because I think it's something like 10 seconds. And then you have the Octarine core, so
Top lane.
7.5 second cooldown.
Chris in trouble. Phoenix just beating the crap out of him. And this will be a very, very dead Tuskar. That gem of PSMs is in the hands of Phonic. They still hold that gem in the Beastmaster's hands, however.
Well, congratulations, Na'Vi. You're finally going to have the opportunity to push out, maybe take some map control, maybe even keep all 3 lanes pushed past the river.
No.
Maybe.
No.
But then Miracle.
Yeah, he's up. Like, you've got Nature's Prophet up in 7 seconds. He'll trigger the Aghanim's ulti, and then there's a crap wave of treants.
Yeah, I mean, they had, like, in this very small period of time, they have to accomplish something big, but then Miracle pushes out the bottom lane, then Furion's back up, and all of a sudden it all goes down.
Another 2 trees on bottom lane.
It all goes down the drain.
Oh god, this chip is just... It's like the never-ending horde. Can we actually just turn Prophet into, like give him a Zerg skin?
Just little Zerglings pop out instead of trees.
Yep.
Zergling rush.
And then the big ones when a hero dies is the Roach.
Well, we now have a BKB for Riki, so it's something, but there's still the control of Abyssal Blade from the AEM.
Yeah.
I'm presuming he's going to get an MKB eventually just to deal with the smoke screen, but I guess the BKB works just as well. Well, then so again, maybe he doesn't do that.
Would you even need to get that? Because you could just get it like a butterfly of your own and then make it so Ricky Murray doesn't do any damage.
Yeah, yeah, butterfly is actually much better example. I was just like, that's so hard to hit underneath smoke screen, but he'll just always keep the BKB for that instance.
And they could always just rely too on having that mech as well as, I say mech, now Greaves, as well as Sorab to keep alive. So, goodbye to the Observer Ward. Na'Vi, they go in for Roshan. This time, Monkey is in a position where they can defend. So, look to drop down that Tombstone. Snako being force-staffed up by himself, trying to just make a little bit of space. Roshan down to 4K now. Tombstone finally is going to get dropped in, and no-tell. The roar's over on Denny. Miracle jumping forward. The Mana Void. It can even just do the spill damage at the moment because Denny's got nothing left. And there she pops. Fly Mike gets turned up. Denny will run himself out of here. And Roshan is still alive and fighting. PSM's going to drop. They've lost everyone here for Na'Vi. Roshan drops, and there it is. GG is the call. Monkey Business will take a 2-0 victory here over Na'Vi. And that pretty much secures them #1 in the group.
Really well done by Monkey Business. They're in a much better position. I'm not sure if they're #1, but they're in a much better position than they were because they were sitting on like
yeah, actually, they were
just
low.
a tie.
They tied with Ninjas in Pajamas now at 4 points apiece.
Yeah, so they're looking at a better position. Much more likely that they're going to take top 2 alongside Ninjas in Pajamas, but there's still plenty more games to go through. CIS Rejects, I think, is one of the teams that really could have the potential to upset for that second place slot. Yeah. But for me, I really felt like it was just a straight out draft. I thought the last pick of Undying was really good for Monkey Business. The reason I feel like it's an outdraft is that Na'Vi had a better shot at doing kind of the same strategy in game #1 and than they did in game #2, and they couldn't execute it perfectly enough to ensure that they could win that. So in the end, when I look at game #2, I'm like, Monkey Business are going to be able to push this late.
Yeah, well, then I don't think we should talk about this anymore because we've got the panelists who get to analyze what happened. So stay tuned, we'll be with them shortly.